herO, one of our most winning players from last season. That herO, man, it should actually be going even further up.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised. I mean, if you got a win streak that kind of goes off the charts there, and you see that record there, it's pretty much 66% to win here. One of our most winning players, like I did mention from the last season, up there with a bunch of other Protosses. He's made a huge step on the scene, especially last season, and he was one of, if not the best player here for CJ Entis. He almost always won for them. A huge, ace player for them as well. Would not be surprised to see, if this does go to ace match, him come out once again.
Now, Deer is actually a Pro League player from old times in StarCraft. So you can see he's 30-20. He actually played in the 2013 season, I believe, and he's 17-11 versus Protoss in Pro League. So that's a pretty positive win rate. This guy's PvP was actually incredible, actually, at the time when he was on top of the world. So this guy, I feel like, I just have this feeling he's going to show us something really special today. Win or lose, we're going to look at this and say, Deer is back. And I think that's what people want to see. If he doesn't show us that, really worried for Samsung.
Yeah, that I am as well. Picking up Deer was a huge pickup, but not a great pickup if he doesn't show up. And he's got to practice a lot and get into that spot to try to bring Samsung a bunch of victories, because they're going to need it, especially in the spot they're in right now. They're down 2-0.
All right, Valdez, it's time. Right now, like you said, Samsung is down 2-0. They need this win to be able to try to force that ace match, try to force that tie. herO, clearly the favorite here. He only needs one more win to push his team into that first win here with a 3-0. The map is King Sejong Station. It's up and loaded. Looks like herO just getting some last-minute adjustments done before we jump into this. And I mean last minute. The start game button is being hovered over right now. All it's going to take is one press of the button, then we're going to get into it. Looks like everything is set and ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, herO is lagging out of the game now.
Well,
I was really hyped. I was ready to go.
We are going to get into this momentarily, guys. Just wait a moment. We're just building the hype before we get in.
All right, the Robbie's going to have to be rehosted. Just giving you guys the updates. We're probably going to go on camera in a second here, actually.
We do have the observing PC here. Great to have, just to see exactly what's going on in the game. So we do, of course, get to see what's happening with the technical difficulties as well. We can get better updates that way.
Indeed. Yeah, I'm in the official channel, so I can actually see literally everything that's happening, which is something that we weren't able to have consistently last year. We had it for some times, but we're going to have it this year all the time. Whenever we want it, we can check everything. So I'm going to jump right back into this lobby right away here. And I'll give you guys any updates that we can get on if there's any further issues with herO's computer.
Well, I mean, based on the camera angles here, I'm sure once we get these two guys back in the game, we're going to start right away. And both players are back in the lobby, guys.
All right, everything is good, the players say. We're loading into the official Pro League lobby. Always get this game started. herO looks tense, man. He keeps closing his eyes. He's got all these issues with his computer. Seems to be pretty nervous, whereas Deer, I feel like he looks a lot more confident. He's like, let's go. I am ready.
I really like the look on Deer's face. He looks ready to go. I think he's well practiced for this one. He studied herO a lot before getting into this one. And Deer doesn't quite have as many replays as herO does in recent times. That's absolutely true. Deer has a lot more to study. It's time, guys. We're really doing it. Game number 3. herO looks nervous. Let's see if he can close it out 3-0 to defeat Samsung Galaxy. Down here in the bottom right in the red, the Protoss player for CJ Entis, it is herO. By far the favorite here. His team in the lead. He's got that momentum coming up with him. And to the top left in blue, his opponent, once on top of the world, it's Samsung's Deer. Seen a lot of teams, gone through some hardship for sure. But now back in a Kespa training environment. Let's see what it's doing for him. And you know what? Any player who's willing to make that commitment to come back to Korea and get into that crazy strict household, it's really hard to do. You know, if you're going to do that, it means you mean business. You're back in the game. You want to show some good results.
This guy, of course, just talking about how he came all the way from California. It's really cold, but he's happy he gets to eat the pizza. He says, "Nyam nyam hesamnida." Don't know how to explain that to you guys, but it's really funny. So, yeah, just like you said. And now keep in mind as well, Deer is training underneath the likes of Stork, someone who has an insane amount of he's got experience in StarCraft 1, he's got experience in StarCraft 2. Deer does as well, but not in quite the same way that Stork has. And I feel like Stork is someone who understands the game so well. If you guys haven't, I actually recommend looking up any interview that you can ever find of Stork and just listening to what this guy has to say, because he pulls no punches, actually. He's really honest about what he feels about the game. I could actually listen to him and the Marine talk about StarCraft 2 forever.
I love guys who get in interviews like that and they don't beat around the bush. They just say what they mean, what they actually feel. You get to get that honest feel from both of those guys. And having Stork as a player coach is also great because he's going to be playing a lot, practicing with the players as well. And he's been around the block so many times that he can just tell what a player is doing wrong very easily, I feel.
Yeah, that's key. That's part of being a great coach. Now let's talk about these builds a little bit. Slightly faster core here coming out right now, but not too much difference here. The faster core coming out for Deer. And there was a probe, hidden to the top right. So looks like we're going to see a proxy Stargate here from herO.
Could be, and getting a look at the first person views once again. These guys, I love just getting into this. You can see how fast they are. Probably not in the very beginning of the game, but
you could just see
little later on. You can see.
You could see even right now, even at the beginning of the game with nothing going on, just how quick these guys are. Immediately after the Stargate is made, rallies the probe back to the watchtower with no downtime whatsoever, no lag in those moves.
He's got some sick timing on that. I mean, the second it ended, he had it all lined up, like from the probe moving out to making the pylon and having it line up with that cybercore finishing.
We even had it looks like a location hotkey set to the watchtower, so he was able to instantly hit the location key and then send the probe over. That's some next level stuff.
Yeah.
Now it is going to be versus a Twilight Council build coming out here for Deer.
Yeah.
Let's see how this one works out. I mean, this is very clearly going to be an Oracle opening from herO. And
that's what it looks like. And out of Deer, he did get that scout with his probe. So he knows, like, okay, you're proxying something. He saw the entire base, saw there was no tech. He's not just like, oh, you're not making anything? Oh, okay. No, he knows. And he's looking around with that stalker.
Very suspicious.
He may just want to send that home just in case of oracles. It looks like that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, very good reactions here by Deer. He comes in to check again because it could just be a delayed robo or something like that. Now he's very certain that something is hidden, and that's a very uncomfortable position. However, he is ready at home. He is getting his blink. 2 stalkers, easily going to deflect this. Let's see how many kills this Oracle can get. It's going to take perfect micro to really get some damage done here. And look at the stalker's even hitting it before it can even activate its attack. 1, probably just going to get 2 and then have to leave if he doesn't lose it.
Oh, so close there, but really nicely done to save that Oracle. Just going to be an annoying bug, an annoying flying around the base there for Deer. He's going to have to deal with that a little bit later on as well.
Keep in mind that this Oracle also scouted the Twilight Council and the Blink. Back at home, herO's getting his own Twilight Council, and he's got 2 extra gates coming up as well. So it's going to be pretty easy for him to defend and attack, considering the Oracle can threaten at any time and force those units to be used defensively rather than offensively. Nice deny on that Probe Scout, too, to see if there's a Nexus or not. He's completely in the dark.
Just so well done here by herO. This is such a high-level PvP that we're seeing right now.
All right, that Oracle has to force a reaction, though, because if he can just continue to attack with all of his Stalkers at the front here, he is going to have some trouble defending with his late blink and his much less, his much smaller Stalker count, I should say. Scouts up here, pokes, sees there's no Nexus. Does not want to go too far, though.
Yeah, he knows that just having that Oracle still out on the map and alive, he has to keep some Stalkers back, and he can't really attack up that ramp without seeing what's going on here. So he's just going to go ahead, drop that Robo.
I'm liking how hero's playing this. He's almost making it look like it's a game of chicken. Like, I'm going to make my Nexus as soon as you make yours, and I'm going to have a very safe Stalker count to do so. Great revelation here. That's going to let him know, because he sees all the probes whenever a Nexus gets planted, where the Stalkers are, if they're moving up aggressively. He's got the high ground advantage here, so he cannot jump up there.
Yeah. Blink not yet done there for herO, so he was not able to blink chase. But Deer seeing all the Stalkers, he's like, all right, okay, I'll back off. no fighting here. We do see another pylon being made all the way towards the right side of the map.
He may hide a Dark Shrine.
Yeah, it could be. It could also just be a kind of more hidden proxy pylon there for some forward warp-ins if that Stargate does get cleared up.
Keep in mind, no robotics just yet for herO, something that we've already seen from Deer. So he is going to get the faster observers, the faster immortals. Of course, this causes his Nexus to be a little bit late. And the Oracle came home, which I think is a really cool choice by herO, because I think he was thinking, what if you just go DTs? You still don't have a Nexus. What are you doing? So he brought his Oracle home just to be safe. And where we're at in this game is just going to be kind of this slow turn into macro as we see Immortals come out a little bit faster here, but the Nexus coming late kind of evens things out because the economy is going to be better for herO a little bit faster. He's going to have a smaller Immortal count, which means that it's hard for him to attack. And I guess his defense is a little bit weaker, but on this map, it's not going to be too big of a deal. It's not going to be a game changer.
Yeah, a lot of times in PvP, we have a very volatile opening of the game, a very volatile early game. Different proxy builds come out, different builds, aggressive builds, defensive builds come out. But then once you get into that mid game, you kind of just level off here. And there's not going to be much except some, oracles flying around, some observer snipes, some blink stalker micro trying to, blink into the main base, possibly pick off some probes and blink away, some stuff like that. Trying to get little advantages before going into those later game fights.
That oracle snipe on that observer is actually huge because now he knows, and that was a great eye there by herO to see that. Now he knows no backstabs are possible. There's no way for him to get in there and do a blink stalker attack unless a Phoenix scout comes in from hallucination to give him vision. And if that happens, he's probably going to see it across the map with all the vision, with all the pylons he's got. And also he's moving across the map aggressively. Now what he's going to try to do here is probably use this oracle to draw units into the main base while he pokes at the front. His stalker count is actually pretty high right now. He's got 12 stalkers on the map. And if any of the stalkers move into the main base by Deer to defend, he's going to have a great position to pick off some probes here at the natural. Let's see how this works out. There goes the Oracle towards the main base. You guys can see it on the mini-map. If he can snipe an Immortal or two, that would be even bigger.
We got those two Immortals at the top of the ramp, but like you were saying, all those Stalkers coming in here. The Mothership Core actually putting down the Nexus Cannon there at the natural. The Oracle actually never moved in. It's still in the top left. Just kind of chilling out there.
Well, he forced one Nexus Cannon to be used. So that means he's got that less for if the Oracle comes in a little bit later and surprises him. Well, he wasn't confident enough to actually attack those Immortals. They were a bit exposed, but I like his patience there. There goes a Revelation to spot these units. Definitely doesn't want to fight those Immortals now. There's a few more Stalkers to support.
Oh, here we go. This is what you were talking about. herO is going to see this, but it will not take away too much. He could actually snipe the Mothership Core.
He will.
We'll get that Nexus Cannon off first, but that's at the natural.
Yep, wrong location. He wasn't in range. Now he's only warping in 3 Stalkers here. That's definitely not enough. All of the Stalkers of herO are coming back, but it's going to take them a long time. So many probes are going down here, which evens up the count quite significantly here. It's 40 to 39 right now, and he's killing Stalkers too, don't forget. Going to blink out and escape. Let's see if he gets that last probe. He will, and gets away, tying the probe count 41 to 41.
But here we go. herO on the chase, trying to get some retribution here. He does get one of the Stalkers, but he is going to have to back off now. We do see a bit of a split in the builds. We do see Colossi coming out of Deer here, whereas we have a hidden Templar Archives in the top right of the map here by herO. He's got 2 of those High Templar in the Warp Prism.
Now, notice that these Stalkers come here. He's actually looking for that Warp Prism. He saw it earlier with his Stalkers. He's probably thinking it's a Zealot drop or some sort of other play where he's going to try to harass on the main base. Oracle's coming into the main right now. Meanwhile, gets another Revelation. There's a cannon there. That's going to be important later, but he's going to go right for that natural with his Storm Drop, and this is something that he has no idea. Deer has no idea this is what he's up against. He's thinking there's a Warp Prism, but he doesn't know where it is, and he doesn't know why. 1, 2, Storms go down. 12 probe kills, 13, excuse me. And he's not done yet. That Warp Prism's still at full health. Can come back at any time.
The play out of both of these players right now, especially herO, is giving me some chills, man. He draws that army out of position in perfect storms. He is pulling Deer across this base here with just these very high micro units, the Blink Stalkers and the High Templar in the Warp Prism. That is so hard to do. You guys can see the result there in the probe counts.
Yeah, I just want to mention that Deer is getting a bit far out there with his units right now. He doesn't want to walk too far out. Now he's got a second Colossus. It's a lot safer, but got to be very careful about moving forward with the Stalkers and making sure that you can protect those high, utility units, those Colossi, those Immortals, those really tough, heavy hitters. They're so important in this matchup. All right, the Warp Prism is getting ready to do another pass, it looks like here. Those High Templar are building up that energy. It looks like he dropped them off just so he could monitor exactly how much energy they have. He can actually individually click on them. Here he goes to poke at the natural once again. Ooh, but overzealous there. Ooh, actually nicely done by Deer. Catches 2 Stalkers.
Yeah, nice force fields there as well after the blink was used, so not able to escape there is herO. Just trying to do a little bit too much, it feels. Just trying to pick off. But with the counter blink here of Deer, he's able to trade quite nicely here. And now Deer, he's actually got a pretty nice tech advantage here. He's got 2 more Colossi, and he's also got 2 extra Immortals. There's going to add some great beef to his overall army comp.
Oh, this Warp Prism gets spotted way too soon this time. And oh no, herO's panicking. He's looking at that. And Deer takes a huge lead here. This could actually be his moment to use that Colossus count you're talking about. Range is not yet done for herO, nor is his +2. Both of those things will, of course, give him a great edge in a fight if he can actually hold on long enough to get that. And it looks like Deer realizes his opportunity here. He's killed a lot of those Stalkers. He has that Immortal advantage. He has that Colossus advantage like you were talking about. And look at this. herO's panicking. He's making a second Templar Archives. He certainly doesn't need that.
We were saying how he was nervous going into this game, and some little mistakes like this, it's getting him pretty far behind. We got a really beefy comp here out of Deer, and if he has some great control here, he can take a great fight.
It's a 6 siege comp he's got, but he does not want to be fighting underneath all those Zealot Warpins here. And here comes that Warp Prism for the Storms. Stalkers coming to flank herO as well. herO taking a tough fight and making it his with some great decision-making here, but it doesn't change the fact that those Colossi are still on this front here. 3rd Colossus pops up for herO. Don't forget now he's got +2 and range. Another Colossus walking up right now for Deer. Can he hold?
Oh, 2 Colossi go down at the same time here, and still 4 Colossi here for Deer. It looks like he's taking this one right now with those 2 Immortals, and the Archon able to tank so much damage here, and herO is totally cleaned up. Looks like Deer is actually going to take this game.
It looks like
Dancing
it, man.
in the natural. GG.
GG. herO coming in with some nerves, making some mistakes, but Deer takes the win. Had some really impressive decision-making, split-second decision-making, really good map awareness, following that Warp Prism everywhere it went. Yeah, he lost some probes to the first one, but as soon as that happened, he was ready, and he saw that advantage that he had. He knew his opponent was trying to research a bunch of tech. He knew his opponent was down on Colossi without even looking, because if you do a Storm Drop like that, you're spending a lot of gas on that tech. You don't have a lot of units. You spent so much gas on those High Templar and the Storm research. So you know you have that Colossus advantage. You kill a bunch of Stalkers. It's time to move across the map. Really well done. And herO basically took the best engagement possible with the tools he was given, but it was a numbers game that he couldn't win.
Deer's back, man. That was some really impressive play. He was getting behind. He was getting storm dropped, but he just kept his cool. He had some really nice macro play. His army composition was better than herO's. herO was trying to be a bit tricky, but Deer, he noticed his opportunity. He took that small fight in the middle of the map against the Stalkers, and he just went with it. He is looking super strong, especially in this PvP matchup. Can't wait to see this guy playing so much more games in the future. He is going to be a huge benefit to the Samsung team.
Absolutely. Looking really good there. Admittedly, I do have to, again, emphasize that herO seemed a bit nervous.